Physicist Moya McTeer and astronaut Mike Massimino break down the math and some of the social science in Hidden Figures. Up next on Science Goes to the Movies. Welcome to Science Goes to the Movies, a look at the stories of science and how they change our culture. I'm Faith Salie, and today we're going to talk about the stars with astronaut Mike Massimino and physicist Moya McTeer. Hello to both of you.
Hi.
Hello.
It's like the dreamiest dream team ever.
Really?
Yes, for a geek like me, yes. Hidden Figures is the story of Katherine G. Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, three of the most brilliant women NASA ever hired, who helped launch John Glenn into orbit while they themselves faced extraordinary obstacles on Earth.
No protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for a man circling the Earth either, sir. Every time we have a chance to get ahead, they move the finish line. Every time.
We all get there together, we don't get there at all.
It's good to know NASA hadn't given up on good old-fashioned brain power.
3, 2, 1.
Let me ask you, if you were a white male, would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
Okay, let's start with the science. Katherine Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, worked in analytic geometry.
Right.
So what is analytic geometry?
I think it's actually just a case of science and math making something simple seem complicated because they give it a weird name. But most geometry is analytic geometry. It's when we do geometry with a coordinate plane, with a coordinate system. And that makes it easier to use equations so that you can figure out where things are with respect to an origin point. It means that you can have a triangle without and define angles on a coordinate plane. You either look so happy like you're proud of her, or you're so happy you don't have to answer the question.
I think she's fantastic. This gives me hope for the future. You know, you meet a young person like this who's in first year of grad school, obviously really smart and into this, explaining that is just so, I'm so glad the world is in your hands.
Yes.
You got it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
And please continue to explain
That's
the world
great.
to us, because from the movie, Moya, it seems like these women were kind of doing new math, like a kind of math that hadn't been seen before. Is that so?
It's actually a really old math. Analytic geometry goes back to the ancient Greeks with Euclid, and then they were just taking this really old math and applying it to something new, like space travel.
And so what was so startling about these calculations?
It's not that it was startling that, oh, this math could be used in this situation. It's just that everything about this scenario was startling. Like, no one had ever gone into space before. They weren't sure that it would work. Everything in that time was startling.
Okay, Moira, so here's the big question that I know is just burning in everyone's mind after seeing this movie. The part where Taraji P. Henson says to Kevin Costner that she prefers orthogonalization,
Right.
the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization over Euclidean coordinates?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I had the same question when I watched it, and then I went back and I watched it a couple of times. And the important thing to answering that question is that when she says that, she's asked to find the Frenet frames of an orbit. And that means that she's being asked to look at an orbit and define a new coordinate system for each and every point along that orbit. And Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization just means that you're making a coordinate system where everything is perpendicular to each other, and that just makes the math easier. It means that everything is in straight lines and you don't have to deal with curves.
And do you personally prefer that over Euclidean coordinates? Because I know Mike does.
Yeah, Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization is, of course, my favorite method of making linear vectors independent.
Depends on the season, the time of day. I can go, either one of them is fine, but yeah, I agree.
Mike, Mrs. Johnson was working on the Space Task Group?
Yes.
What was the Space Task Group? Is there still one?
Well, no, not really. It doesn't. But what happened was when he first started NASA, it was the NACA before. It became NASA when we started going into space. So it was an aeronautics research group that the government had called the NACA. And then it expanded to include both airplanes and space. And if people think of NASA, they think of space, but it's National Aeronautics and Space Administration. So it still also covers aeronautics. But back then when they were first starting out, they got the smartest people they could find at the time, and they started this task group. And they got people from all, not just the country, but all over other countries too, from all over the world, became part of this. And that started NASA. So this group was at Langley. And then it expanded. And that's where the astronauts, when they first were selected, they were at Langley in Virginia, like they showed. And then eventually they built their new home for them and after Project Mercury in Houston. So that's where I was trained as an astronaut. And that's when you grow up to be an astronaut, you're almost there. If you wanted to do that, I think you'd be great, personally. But if you would go down to Houston, it's where the astronauts all live and train now. But that task group was a real group, and the pioneers of the space program were part of that. And they were really smart people trying to figure out how to do this, because we didn't have a space program. They had to invent the space program, and that's what that task group was. But it doesn't exist any longer. But that's where it began.
Moya, why is the mathematics of going up different than the math of coming down? I mean, I know it is when it comes to like gaining and losing weight. It's much easier to go up, but why is it different?
I think at the most basic level, it's just because when you're coming down, you have to be a lot more precise. There's that scene in the movie where they have this meeting to talk about the landing location for the spacecraft when it's coming down, and you don't have to worry about that when you're going up. I mean, obviously you're aiming for something. Like if you're trying to get to the International Space Station, you don't want to miss it. But you have a bigger margin of error when you're going up as opposed to when you're coming down.
As an astronaut, are you vaguely or acutely aware of all the math, all the people, all the hidden figures who go into getting you up there and back safely?
No. I think we try to be, but I don't think we ever can really understand how many people there are helping us out. And there was that scene in the movie where John Glenn meets some of the mathematicians and some of the people. One of the things that we did as astronauts, right from the beginning, as a new astronaut class, we went on tours of the different centers that NASA has all over the country to meet as many people as we could. And you would also tour some of the contractors, some of the companies that were building your equipment. And you try to get to know them, get to know what they're doing as best you can, because those are the people that make it possible for you to do your job. And there are thousands of them that are supporting any particular launch at any time. Space Station now, it's a huge team on the ground. These people work very, very hard. They're extremely dedicated. And most of the time, we don't even get a chance to meet them or talk to them. But we do have an appreciation that they are there. And we understand that our lives are in their hands. And when I hear you talk about the math, I remember distinctly being on a spacewalk, orbiting around the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour and looking down at the planet. And the space shuttle had to come down and hit a runway, right? I mean, it wasn't like, at least when they were coming back in, Project Mercury and Gemini and Apollo, the Pacific Ocean covers about a third of our planet. No matter what, you're probably going to hit it, right? Somewhere. You might not be really close to where the aircraft carrier was. You want to be right on it, but you're probably going to get down there. I was like, we got to hit a run. I remember we got to hit that run. And we were like over Africa. I go, we got to hit the runway at the Kennedy Space Center in a few days. And I said to myself, I am really glad I'm not the guy figuring that out, that we have smart people on the ground doing it. So you have an appreciation for how complicated that is. And a real gratitude to the people that get you there.
They were also trying to figure out the difference between a elliptical and a parabolic orbit.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
So a parabolic orbit means you're shooting something off and it's not coming back.
That's bad news for you.
Right. We want them to come back.
Yeah.
It's reached escape velocity. But an elliptical orbit means that it might take a while to come back. It's not a circular orbit, but it will eventually come back.
I'm sure they feel different when you're up there.
Yeah, so the parabola, you're saying you're going, you just escape. It's not, okay, yeah, that's not a good one. But there's also the elliptical orbit, which has, you're closer to the Earth on one part of it and then further away on the other. And all orbits are like that. We used to circularize our orbit on the shuttle. We would launch, and then at our apogee, where you're furthest away, you'd burn again to raise your perigee. Yeah, am I with you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm contributing to the math. So then you circularize your orbit. So we would want a circular orbit when we were orbiting the planet.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Johnson solves this orbit problem using something called Euler's
Euler's
method. What is that?
It's a method that's used to solve ordinary differential equations that can't otherwise be solved. So it's just a way of estimating what the answer should be. If you're given a starting point, you can figure out what the slope of a curve should be, and then you're basically just like figuring out what the slope at teeny tiny little increments along this curve would be. And that's a way of estimating the curve itself.
Ooh, if I'm an astronaut, estimating is a word I don't like a lot.
But you use really tiny increments so that
I trust
Yeah.
you. In the movie, John Glenn makes it very clear he is not going to strap himself into a rocket until Mrs. Johnson has checked the computer's figures, right? And Mike, you have had a rocket strapped to your butt.
Yes.
What kind of reassurances did you get?
I didn't know about Mrs. Johnson, but I would want her to check my figures too. Moya would be the person
Yeah.
that
Right.
would go to.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
I've actually read that John Glenn, that actually happened. He wasn't going to go up into space unless Katherine Johnson gave the go-ahead.
Wow.
She checked the numbers.
And you knew John Glenn a little bit.
I did. I got to meet him when he became a shuttle astronaut. He flew on the mission they were depicting, the first American to orbit the Earth.
And you said this movie very fairly depicts him.
He was the real deal, and his relationship with his wife and his kids. He was an amazing person. I guess for me, maybe it's things have changed over the years, but for me, the depiction of what you would want an American hero to be, you're a person who is just the person you want to root for, the person that embodies everything we think is good in the world. That was John Glenn, and he was the real deal. I was telling the story earlier, like with my book, I asked him to write a blurb for my book, and he agreed to do it. And I was wondering what happened because a few months went by, and I contacted his assistant. This is a few months ago. He was he's 95 years old. He recently, of course, just passed a few months ago. But the answer came back from his secretary. No, the senator still wants to do this, but his eyesight was failing, and we were trying to find someone to read the book to him. Okay, who am I to John Glenn? I'm some knucklehead new astronaut, right? But no, he said he was going to read my book, and he couldn't see that well, so someone was going to read him that book, and he wrote a nice little endorsement of my book. And
thank God he liked it after
Thank
all
God he liked it.
How awkward.
But that's the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy he was. He was I think a true hero, and I'm very happy with the way they depicted him in the movie. That's who that guy was.
Some of the other real-life women in Hidden Figures have started to pop up in other modern dramas. In episode 8 of the NBC time travel show Timeless, Dorothy Vaughan walks in on a time-traveling character named Rufus in the IBM room at NASA, and she brags to him that NASA has a full 4 megabytes of data capacity. Now, just to clarify how small that is, this show in full HD uses about 75 gigabytes to launch a single episode. I mean, did NASA really get to the moon on such primitive computers?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The computers were huge. They took up whole rooms like you saw in Hidden Figures. And now we can fit that type of computing power in our iPhones. Our iPhones could send things to the moon. Yeah.
And in Apollo 13, Tom Hanks' character uses a slide rule to check calculations. Did we really go to space before there were pocket calculators?
Yeah, pocket calculators didn't really make slide rules obsolete until 1975, 76. So, this was all happening in the 60s, and it was slide rule era.
It's amazing what they did. They got to the moon. They were able to land with very primitive guidance. A lot of it was still astronaut actually flying. And the shuttle as well. The shuttle was designed in the 70s. So even though it flew up until a few years ago, up till 2011, what we call the mainframe, but the general purpose computer, our main computer was a very outdated computer. And the way they got it to work more reliably is that they had 5 of them. So one always checking on the other. And it was really difficult to make improvements to it. They would update the software about once every 18 months. But you were limited. They didn't want to change those things out. And what really changed the way we operated was incorporating laptop computers. In the shuttle program, it started with an old grid computer. This was an old computer they had that they used like in army tanks and stuff back in the early 90s. They started using those, and then it graduated to more modern day laptops. The space station is primarily laptop computers that are running the show. And what's nice about that is you can change them out. You know, you can update those more easily than you can with these old style computers where you didn't want to fool around with it. But it required the crew to be trained to a large degree to do those tasks, whereas now we rely more on automation. But it is amazing what they were able to do. But it wasn't easy. It involved a lot of training, a lot of people working together, a lot of redundancy compared to the technology to help you have now to fly a spaceship.
Dating back to Benjamin Banneker in the late 1700s, African Americans have been contributing to our better understanding of the stars. If you caught season 4, episode 3 of the Fox show Sleepy Hollow, you might know about Benjamin Banneker.
I, sir, could not in good conscience stand idly by while a nation was oppressed by tyranny.
Yet you gloss over the fact that those who seek to overthrow aren't any better than the masters they seek to expunge.
For those who don't know, will you tell us a little bit more about Benjamin Banneker?
Right. Benjamin Banneker is touted as being the first professional American astronomer. He was born in the 1700s, and even though he didn't get a lot of formal education, he taught himself about astronomy, he taught himself about math, so he wrote a lot of almanacs and actually did a lot of the surveying work that planned Washington, D.C.
And on the issues of race, we'd like to think that numbers and facts would have had that kind of clarity that would naturally level the field. But in this movie, we see a woman with the answers and the proofs and the genius who is made to run a quarter mile both ways in high heels every time she has to go to the bathroom. So genius gets Katherine Johnson in the room, but how can you do this kind of hard creative work if the room is cruel?
You can't do it as well as you could if the room weren't cruel. You can get the work done, but it takes a toll on you. If you think of your brain as one of those huge computers that NASA was using in the 60s, like half of your brain is used to think about all of these microaggressions and all of the obstacles that you have to face, and that means that you're just not working at your highest potential.
I think we could call some of them macro aggressions.
Exactly.
Back in
that's
days.
definitely
Yeah.
what Katherine Johnson was facing.
From the movie, especially the opening scene, it seemed like in 1962 the race to space was so exciting, and people feared communism and Sputnik enough to at least temporarily put aside their racism. To get America into space, all hands needed to be on deck, and if only for a moment, it didn't matter what color those hands were. What about now? Do you think the thrill of science can sort of transcend our baser instincts?
I think it can help. I think the major contributing factor to, I don't want to say a lack of racism in science, but definitely less racism in science than in other fields, is that scientists tend to just be more progressive. And so they still have those baser instincts, but it's less likely now that people are going to try and enforce segregation in a scientific arena.
You can go to the bathroom wherever you want to.
Yes, I can.
And you should.
And I do.
Good. What about you, Mike? I mean, everything, reading your book and hearing you talk about how your life changed from before and after seeing the Earth from so many thousands of miles away, I feel like if everybody could go up in space and see what you saw, we'd be in a group hug all the time.
That would be good. I think you're right. I think as far as science, engineering, space exploration, it is when you have a common goal, you can agree on things. And I think, for example, on the International Space Station, we don't have all the countries of the world participating, but we have the United States, Canada, Japan, the countries of Europe, and the Russians. And we get along pretty well in space with our Russian colleagues. Now, that's another topical political issue here with the Russians. But the cosmonauts and astronauts and their scientists and engineers, we all play very well together. I really like these people, right? And they like us because we have a common goal, which is to execute a mission properly. That's a little, I don't know if that's the same thing as racial prejudice, but I think when you have a common goal and you realize that you cannot succeed without the help of everyone involved, then all of a sudden I think those barriers start to fade, because that's what you can focus in on is your goal and trying to work together to accomplish something. So I think that's something that's very powerful. The other thing is that we see over and over again where I think if you look at sports, you know, when you're excluding a large portion of the population from contributing, it's really stupid. And so I think that probably the best hope we have for the future is in science and engineering is just the numbers of women that are now involved, right? When I was a student at Columbia, I was at Columbia Engineering. It was like a 13-to-1 ratio. This is back in the 80s, right, of male to female. Now Columbia Engineering School, where I teach now, I think it's 40. It's still a little heavier on the men. So I think it's like 43% women. MIT is 50-50.
Yeah, Columbia's Astro department is 50-50.
Okay, it's 50-50. Our latest astronaut class was 50-50. It was only 8 people, but it was 4 men and 4 women in the astronaut class they picked in 2013. Now all of a sudden you're doubling your talent pool. So for that alone, or hopefully getting there, that alone I think that there's hope. And by excluding people, whether it's based on whatever you want to exclude them on, is just really a dumb thing to do. You're just not going to get, whether it's in sports, you know, your teams that are going to be open and accepting are going to be better than the teams that are only going with this population. I think it's spilling over into math and science for sure.
I've read your book, so I know your roots. But Moya, I don't think you have the most predictable routes to becoming an astronomer, right? Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up?
I grew up in southwestern Pennsylvania, Greene County, which is like coal country. And
in a what?
In a log cabin in the middle of the woods
Really?
without running water.
Really?
Really.
You had a clear sky at night though, didn't you? You could see those stars? Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
Wow.
Clearer than New York anyway.
Yeah.
Running, you're Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
With tats.
With tats and no hat.
And no hat. I mean, so what was the moment in your young life where you maybe looked at the stars or?
There wasn't really one. Like I said, I didn't know I wanted to study astronomy until I got to college. I was really interested in physics in high school. I had an AP chemistry teacher who was really great in high school, and that made me want to be a theoretical physicist. Then I got to college, took my first physics class, and realized I'm not going to say I was bad at it, but I didn't have the necessary knowledge base. My school didn't prepare me for that level of physics. So I struggled really hard. And then came back to science. I left science for a while, decided to study folklore and mythology, and then found astronomy and stuck with it.
Well, science says welcome back.
It's quite a combination of things.
Right.
What is your, what was the most moving scene in Hidden Figures for you?
Oh, that's a great question. The scene. Actually, honestly, it was the scene where Dorothy Vaughan and the other supervisor woman, but they're talking, and throughout the entire movie, this woman has addressed her as Dorothy, and then she gets her promotion, and she addresses her as Mrs. Vaughan, and it's that really simple show like demonstration that we are equals. I'm going to treat you like another human being. That really hit home for me, I think.
And what about you?
You know, I was thinking about that. There were so many scenes, I think, that were meaningful to me. I think, you know, from my perspective, I think I was proud of, or wanted to be proud of, the way NASA reacted eventually to what was going on. Of when Kevin Costner took down maybe it was a fabricated scene, but you know, showing we don't have any barriers at NASA. We're trying to get the job done, and the way that it was I guess the first stages of getting people, different types of people to work together. I thought that was I was proud of NASA, and I do think that that's the spirit there, that you try to give everyone a chance, and I think that's something that the space program can be very proud of, and I think it's because of we talked about how difficult it was to do these things. You're not going to get there unless you pool all your best talent, and that comes from lots of different places and lots of different people. And so I think for me, as a former astronaut and still part of that NASA family, I was very happy with the way that it showed. Hey, you know, this organization, although And it's still, looking back on it, you could also be embarrassed. Geez, what the heck was going on? But maybe back then in that context, it was taking those first steps. And it's hard for me to comment on that because I didn't have the same life experiences. People from different backgrounds and different color, and I can't even imagine what that struggle would have been like. But you got to hope that things are getting better anyway. And you maybe we'll look back to this time and say, geez, we were still backwards back then. I'm sure we will. But I guess I was very happy with the way, if you could believe that it was that part of it was truth, that NASA did give a big push to move things along.
Mike Massimino, Moya McTier, I think you've made anybody watching this a little more starry-eyed. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
That's all we have time for today. Whatever we can't fit into this half hour, we will share on our Science Goes to the Movies Facebook page. And if you want to watch past episodes, check us out at www.cuny.tv under the Science tab, or download our app to keep up with everything related to Science Goes to the Movies all in one place.